and now I'm going to show you a second method just in case you didn't quite get on with that first one, and this second method is the one that I prefer. So I'm going to start just by taking all of these off here like this and pulling on either end, and what that will do is that will take you right back to just having wool. And this second method also involves starting with a slip knot, but you need a bit of a tail to get going. So in order to do that, I tend to wrap the wool around my needles the number of times, depending on the number of stitches. So if you need 10 stitches, you'll want to wrap it around 10 times. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And of course the number of stitches depends on how thick the piece you're making is. So if you're making something very thin like a scarf, you might start with 10, somewhere between 10 and 30 stitches. But if you're making something very small, like to go with a doll for instance, you might start with 5. So it really depends on the pattern that you're following or what you're making. And so once you've wrapped round the required number of times, you let it off the needle like this, and you'll want to make a slip knot like I showed you earlier. So you want to maybe give yourself a bit of leeway, a bit more wool on top of what you just wrapped round. And you want to wrap round your fingers and pull this over here up and through, so you've made a loop. And hold the loop with your right hand and take these off of your fingers. And if you pull on it like this, you'll make a slip knot. And you want to start by doing the same as we did before. You want to put it on the needle. And this method can be a bit confusing, but once you get it, it's kind of automatic when you do it. So in order to cast on with, I think this is called the long tail method, you'll see you've got these 2 strings coming out here, and you want to kind of grab one with your 3 fingers, so your pinky, your index and your middle finger on your left hand, with the needle in your right hand, and you want to grab that, and then with this other yarn here, you want to kind of grab that with your finger and thumb like this. And so a lot of the work here is done by moving the needle in and out. So you've grabbed the yarn that comes from the ball with your 3 fingers, and then you've put your thumb and your finger in the middle of these 2 strings like this, and you've grabbed it with this middle finger. So now that you have your fingers like this, you want to take the needle and go under this piece that's below your thumb and up again just under your thumb. So I'll just do that again. So you've grabbed each string, and the frontmost piece of string you'll want to go under the thumb, back through, and you're kind of twisting as you're doing this. And now that you're here, you'll want to go behind the backmost piece of yarn. So it's like this. And you want to bring it back under and through the same way you came in. So now you have these 2 loops on your needle, but you also have this loose part. So to tighten that up, you just pull on the 2 pieces of yarn. And so just to do that again, you want to take the right hand needle under this part and through to create a kind of loop, and then you want to grab this back piece like this and come back through where you just entered, and you want to pull to tighten it off. And so we've currently got 3 stitches, and so we'll maybe want to start with 10 of those. So go down and through the middle, grab the back and bring it back through, down here and through the loop that you formed with your thumb, grab the back yarn and bring it through and pull to tighten. So down here and up through, grab the back, bring it back through where you came in and pull to tighten up. So we want to do that until we have 10 stitches, and it takes a bit of practice to get right, to kind of adjust how you're holding the wool. And like I said, this is just one of many ways to cast on. So you may prefer another method like the method I showed you earlier, but I prefer this one because it's nice and quick. So how many have we made? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I've got a bit carried away there. So if you cast on too many, you can just let the stitches off. So you take 1 and 2, so you're back down to 10, and you'll notice that you have these loops left. So to get rid of those, you just kind of pull around them. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 stitches left.